Hey guys, welcome back to the Synchronized. Today we officially have our first guest, Miss Courtney.
Yay! Woo!
So today's video is a Q&A all about her experience as a competitive single skater transitioning into synchro.
Courtney skated with us on Team Del Sol for the first 2 years of the senior team. And she was amazing and so much fun to skate with.
Thank you.
So happy you joined.
Oh, thank you. You guys are why I stayed, so there's that.
So do you just want to first tell us a little bit about your skating background?
Sure. I was a single skater from the time I was 6 years old, basically. Started training and competing at 6, and then I competed heavily throughout the U.S. Southwest Pacific Regionals, went to regional championships a few times. The majority of my high-level competitive career was at like intermediate ladies, and I just loved it, and I felt like I was never really done. Something was left undone
You had
for
unfinished
me.
business.
I did.
To
I
do.
had unfinished business.
You were
so.
destined to come back.
Alright, so when did you first hear about synchronized skating as a sport?
Oh, actually, I was pretty young. It was called Precision. We had a Precision team at my rink when I was a kid, yeah. And it was, I want to say, probably like 16 skaters, like similar to what we did. Yeah, maybe a few less. And I did join it for a short while. And I did for a short window. Yeah, not enough, obviously, to learn anything, as you guys saw. But I did attempt it for a little bit. And I was pretty young, and my mom actually was one of those stigmas. She thought, well, this is for kids that can jump and spin, and my daughter's busy. And my coach, and my coach thought the same thing, because synchro was just, and again, this was 20 years ago, and they thought synchro was for those who couldn't compete, who couldn't jump or spin, or exactly. So we were, the group decision, my coaching staff and my parents and myself, was that I would not continue with that.
So what made you join synchro? The second time, I guess.
Ashlyn.
Shout out to Ashlyn.
Shout out. So we were skating one day, and she came out on the ice and said to me, like, hey, I want you to do this. And I was like, all right. So took me to a practice, one of your guys' practices.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I stood on the side of the wall and was going, this was nothing like the little Precision team I'd had at home, so it was a lot to digest at the time. It was faster, it was a lot more choreography, a lot more steps, it was advanced skating. I'm seeing turns in there that are like in the senior moves test. I'm like, oh Lord, and they're all doing this in time right next to each other.
Okay, so next question. So obviously there's a lot of misimpressions by the single skating community.
Many.
I feel like a lot of single skaters had what your thought process was a long time ago, where it's just, a team full of skaters who couldn't jump, like who can't do anything, so they just chose synchro. So, I mean, coming to our practices and kind of having that in the back of your mind, what, surprised you the most, I would say?
All of it, every aspect. As a soloist coming in, I see the biggest difference and the biggest discrepancy I see between the two is the level of commitment. So you as a soloist, you can kind of do things on your own time. Granted, you have a coach to commit to and a training plan to commit to and whatnot, but your arrival time at the rink most days is not going to be 4 a.m. for private ice.
No.
5-6 days a week. But the level of commitment, the camaraderie was really surprising. And especially for us, I feel like the team that we were on for 2 years was like the dream team. For some reason, we just all really worked well together.
We were so close.
Yeah. We were. And I thought to myself, like, God, we have something special. And I never had that before, and I didn't really know that was such a thing. Like, that was so doable, and that was so important. No, really. And the advanced level of skating, like, they're so specific, and I didn't think about that either. I thought, well, as long as we're all in sync, that's cool, right?
Yeah.
No, the judges are looking for technique, they're looking for turn quality, they're looking for speed, they're looking for precision and unison and lines and performance, and so all those
technical
things.
aspect of learning
so
all
much
that
that
too.
goes into
It's
it.
huge, yeah, and I just didn't realize that you had to skate so smart in synchro all the time. Like, your brain has got to be running, even if you've trained and trained and trained. So it was everything, really, but those were the biggest things. The level of commitment, the types of elements, the degree in which you had to execute them. Like, it's just a lot more. It was a lot more than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
In many ways. Yeah.
Because it's just frustrating when you know, you have that thing going around where it's like, oh, synchro's never going to get into the Olympics because all they do is turns, when it's like
all they do is crossovers.
Yeah,
like,
it's like,
no.
that's not true,
No,
girl.
it's not
Okay.
it.
There's
It's
a lot
so
more
not
that
it.
goes into
Yeah.
it.
I've never been in better shape in my life.
Right? Yeah.
So I guess overall, what were your biggest takeaways from synchro versus single skating?
I had a huge sense of pride when it came to synchro. I don't know why. I think it's because you're pioneering something that's like, it's brand new, it's being pushed by all these committees, we all support it, we all, again, that camaraderie, like, there was something about taking away a victory in synchro that was so much different than as a soloist. As a soloist, you take it and you're like, you're really excited, but you know, it's very lonely. You know, it's very different, it's very lonely. Whereas a synchro skater, you have not only your coaching staff to skate for and trust, and you have a loyalty to them that's just endearing all in itself, and then you have a loyalty to your teammates and what you guys have built together, and it's a sense of like community and pride, and that was very different to me. I think just that sense of like pride, it was so much different than being a soloist. Like, I was very proud when we made Team USA. And I know I did.
Such a big
It's
moment.
something when you're a soloist, it's something that you set as a goal, like, oh God, I just want to wear that red, white, and blue so bad, and it's such a, like, the window is just so narrow, you know, and then you see it in synchro, and you understand, and having a feasible, tangible goal with synchro, and then achieving that goal, like, through all your hard work, it just meant so much more to me with a team behind me.
So, what advice would you give to a single skater who's thinking about joining a synchro team?
Whew. Oh man, I've had this talk a few times actually,
Yeah.
because as you both know, we have a team at this rink. We have a couple teams at this rink, and we're starting to foster a synchro program because it's something that is near and dear to my heart now. And I would say that the biggest thing I tell them is to really decide to commit to it.
Yeah.
Because it's not something that you can do and decide halfway through that you're not okay with. It's not something that you can commit to a team to and then say, I think this is too much for me. Because you're given a spot and you're given responsibilities and you're being counted on. And it means so much more to your teammates and to your coaches and to your parents and to yourself to really push through and to commit to that spot and to commit to being an athlete and you know, relying on your teammates. I would say be ready for it. Prepare yourself as much mentally as you can physically for it. Yeah.
Get ready.
Yes.
Get ready
That's
to
so
work,
true.
girl.
Yeah.
Get ready to go to bed at 8 p.m.
I would say that's like the biggest struggle with synchronized skating is the commitment.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you have to give up like so much of your social life, the aspect of that, and then, you know, just putting so many hours onto the ice. And usually, not this is not true for all the teams, but for most teams, practices are at 4 in the morning.
Because you have to have private ice. It's very hard to find in many rinks. So you find yourself coming in at like strange hours and things like that. But that's normally what I say to parents. It's what I say to skaters. It's what I say to coaches even that have transitioned and they've said, well, I think, you know, I did synchro, you know, for this many years. I want to try it. I want to help foster this program. I'm like, great. Get ready.
Yeah.
It's a ride.
And once you're in, you're in. Like, there's no backing out because that whole team is counting on you.
Yes, it is all encompassing. Be ready.
All right, well, that's all of our questions for today. Thank you so much, Courtney, for coming.
Thank you.
We really enjoyed having you.
Thank you for having me. It was a blast.
It was so much fun.
I love getting to help my community and my people, my teamies.
Yes. So, single skaters out there who are trying to transition to synchro, take notes.
Yes.
All right, guys, catch us in our next video.
All right, bye.
Bye.